Hello, everyone. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Nika here with your daily neuro nugget. And guys, bear with me because we have a colossal amount of documents that have been released to us, over 300 pages for sure. There is so much information that it makes me wonder how did Koberger's team even manage, right? Now, I know you saw the title. I know you saw the title. Guess who we are talking about yet again? Rodgers Showalter, right? Somebody who I have talked about quite a bit since the early days, and now that we have all of these documents being revealed to all of us have the capacity to pull these documents up, and there is so much information that is making Rodgers Showalter look very suspicious, more so than we already thought. They literally found BLOOD in his apartment. Like, what is going on? By the way, if you guys are in here, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you are hitting like. It's my shirt hanging out. I saw a comment. Let's tuck it. Let's tuck it in here. There we go. There we go. Rodgers Showalter. I assumed, my theory was that he was Papa Rodgers. Now, guys, when we're scrolling through these documents, okay, we see at the very bottom of the document that, I don't know if it was a typo, I don't know if this was real, I don't know what is going on, but there's one thing they definitely typed up, that they found 94 samples of red fluid at Showalter's place. Now, it was later changed to 4 samples, and it just makes me wonder if it was a typo or if it was redacted. And I'm just wondering if Moscow PD had to redact everything, because again, if you unlawfully enter somebody's living space, their apartment, their home, whatever, without proper warrants, you're gonna have to redact certain things, right? Now, all red fluid should be verified, but it's kind of hard to do that when you have samples that are lost, samples that are destroyed, samples that are mishandled, and I'm not sure how do we only get 4 swabs out of 94? Where did the other 90 swabs of red fluid go? Did they even ever test the blood? Something tells me that they never tested it. Did they discard the other 90? Now, we know that Rodgers Showalter left in the very early morning hours, like, of November 13th, right after the crime took place, and it just makes it look very suspicious, right? We already knew that, because it makes it look, in my opinion, these are my opinions, my theories, this is for entertainment purposes only, it makes it look like he was running for the hills. And is it possible that Rodgers Showalter was just trying to create some distance between him and the victims? Not only that, guys, but we know that Showalter drove 5 hours at 2 a.m. after being seen at the corner club with Maddie, with Kaylee, and the cops just said, oh, nothing to see here. We know that you're one of the last people to have seen him alive, and we know that you drove to a cabin that was 5+ hours away, but nothing to see here. Now, Rodgers Showalter was glued to Kaylee, glued to Maddie all night long. And we also see Maddie give him the middle finger. It looks like they don't want him around. Those are the vibes that I'm picking up from the girls when I look at them. And then we see Kaylee and Maddie abandon Jack. They literally just ditched him just hours before they were unalived. And now we're finding out that there was actual BLOOD in his apartment. And by the way, for those of you who are like, oh my God, you can't just say the word. No, because I don't want to suppress the channel. I want it to grow so the truth gets out. Bigger channels can get away with it, but we're still small here. So I'm going to just spell it out for you. Now we find that there was BLOOD in his apartment, and then he took a week off of work. Wow, babe. If you're in here, give it a thumbs up. Now, allegedly, Jack Showalter also had a connection via EcoShield. And if you guys remember EcoShield, this was the company that Kaylee was going to work for in Texas. Now, in my humble opinion, this is a very shady company with horrible Yelp reviews. Just take the time, Google EcoShield in Texas, and you're gonna see all their reviews. Okay, a lot of people are complaining of scams. There were several people in the reviews mentioning that this is actually an MLM, aka a pyramid pest control company that often gets customers tricked into making payments that they never signed up to make. And allegedly, it is also rumored to be a money laundering company. So here we have allegedly another connection to Jackass via this EcoShield company. Now, we know money can get people in trouble, but it can definitely also get people out of trouble. And his parents sure have a lot of it. How deep are their pockets? Is it possible that their income, their revenue, their political connections to so many people in Idaho played a role into protecting Jack Rodgers Showalter? And I know you guys are like, why do you keep saying Rodgers? Because that's his middle name. And what's funny to me is that he actually spells it just like Papa Rogers with a D. And don't tell me that this is common, because the most common way to spell Rogers is without the D, right? That's the most common way. Now, many of us have given Kohberger the benefit of the doubt because there is just not enough evidence pointing to him. I'm not talking about emotions. I'm not talking about what people have said. I'm not talking about how people feel about him, like that he's weird, that he's creepy. I'm talking about factual evidence, because it's quite possible to plead guilty to not get the death penalty. But as some information comes to light, it's appearing that maybe, just maybe, Kohberger has a good chance of acquittal, because it appears that our justice system is failing. It is failing. And to top it off, Jack Showalter was cleared by phone. He was cleared over the phone. I was like, how was I right? Again, if you literally go back to the beginning, I speculated, I theorized that it was very likely that Moscow PD had cleared a lot of people over the phone, which was very concerning to me. That was very concerning to me. I mentioned, was it possible that Moscow PD cleared Jack Showalter and Eric Gower by phone? Because we know both of them took a week off magically after the IDAHO4. Not only that, but both of them also have been heard to say that they didn't really know the girls. There is a documentary where Jack Showalter and Hunter are saying that they don't know Kaylee. Why are they saying that they don't know Kaylee? I know you know Kaylee. We have seen Hunter talk to Kaylee. We have seen him on video. We have seen him on the police footage. Why are they distancing themselves from the victims? Why is Eric Gower also saying that he did not know Maddie? We know you knew Maddie. Why are they distancing themselves from the victims? And it pains me to say that I was right. Now that these documents have dropped, now that we're seeing that Jack Showalter was cleared by phone, it makes me wonder, well, who else was cleared by phone? Was Eric Gower also cleared by phone? Who else was cleared by phone? I am so angry that I was so right that Moscow PD was clearing people by phone, but I had a feeling. Why? Because they botched this entire investigation from the very beginning. And one of the first things that police departments often botch when doing these investigations is how they clear people. Because again, they're going to focus on one individual, and once they focus on that individual, good luck getting them to turn and look at anybody else. They're set in their ways. Okay. So just have a couple questions. How is it possible that we have Jack Rodgers Showalter's apartment covered covered in red fluid. It's not investigated. Did they even test the red fluid? And he was most definitely not even put on a suspect list. How is that possible? And then the cherry on top is the people alleging that he was adopted and he had a lot of anger issues. Then we have coworkers mentioning that he had these aggression issues and that he always carried knives to work. We've seen the pictures with him and the K-bars. We have somebody here, adopted, anger issues, aggression issues at work, carrying K-bars, carrying knives, and then magically stops carrying these knives to work after the IDAHO4. Then you drove for hours, Jack Rodgers Showalter, to get to your family's cabin. That's a long drive, because if I am remembering correctly, it was like a 5+ hour drive. It just makes me wonder, was it because of the remaining adrenaline post IDAHO4? We have a lot of us here have read a lot of stories about serial unalivers, and one thing is that you get this adrenaline rush, and what better way to burn it off than a long drive? We've heard stories, for example, from Ted Bundy, right? He would unalive his victims and then he would go on these long drives afterwards to get rid of that remaining adrenaline. So it just makes me wonder, if there is one thing that we can continue to learn as this case is botched, right? Is that it was botched from day one. When you have police departments clearing people that last saw the victims over the phone, that's a problem. That is a problem. So, how are you guys doing today, by the way? Leave a like. There's 100 of you in here. There should be 100 likes, because you're literally absorbing this information for free, right? You're welcome. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Hi, Nadine. Hello, Michael Green, Chili Chicken. That's always fun to say. Hi, Shelly. Exactly, he was there that night, and he happened to live right across the street. Super sus. Super, super sus. Annie Mae agrees with me. She believes that JS is also Papa Rodgers, right? And they both spell their names the same way. Interesting. Interesting. Hello, Bonnie. Hello, Carrie Corpy. Bonnie says, I can't believe they released all these documents knowing all the mistakes and cover-ups they show. Thank goodness for the documents being released. I think guilters... No, actually, I don't think that. I know that guilters are going to stand by Brian Kohberger being guilty, because, again, most people, once they are set in their ways, they're set in their ways. It's very difficult to change their mind on what they believe, even if you show them evidence, unfortunately. But I'm just praying that some people out there open their eyes and they begin to question, why was there red fluid found at Jack Showalter's and it wasn't tested? Again, even if you are a parent of the victim, wouldn't you want that tested? Wouldn't you want to know the truth? Even if Kohberger could have been involved or committed this crime, if there were other people helping him, wouldn't you want them in jail also? I would. Teresa says, mind-blowing, they just let this go. His parents paid them off. And again, allegedly, it is rumored that his parents have donated millions to U of I. So money, follow the money, right? Money carries weight, carries pull, carries power. So Patty, welcome. Jack, freaky character and patterns, right? Even if only 4, they should have been tested. Yeah. And were they? I don't think so. I don't think so. Nadine, money talks and bullshit walks. Yes, that's right. Jack Showalter also posted pictures of his hunting trophies. He sure did, right? Hello, Mitchell. Hi, AKW. Hello, Jim. Jim. Can you guys hear me? I hope you can. Since day one, when I saw that footage, I see Kaylee and Maddie, they don't look comfortable to me. They look uncomfortable. They look like they don't want to be there. Their body language is giving vibes of, I don't want him around us. Again, as a female myself, who's also been bothered, you know, when I'm out and about, they're giving the same body language I give when I don't want people around me. Like, leave me alone, bro. And if it is true that Jack S had these anger issues, these aggression issues, then we can't just pretend that that's not a big deal. We can't just pretend that him taking a week off of work, driving up to his parents' cabin that was 5+ hours away in the middle of the night, like, that was never investigated. The fact that he was cleared over the phone. Not only that, but there were also rumors that Jack Rodgers Showalter allegedly was involved in leaving unalived coyotes at other fraternities, right? Enemy frats, basically. So just things we should keep in mind as we go through this case. Claire says, whoever did this was extremely precise with getting organs and arteries. BK couldn't even cut a fish right. Exactly. Thank you for pointing that out. Hello, Jelena. Nice to see you also. This case is crushing my brain. It's deeply disturbing. Huge cover-up. It will hopefully be released, the truth. One day, right? AKW says cash rules everything around me. PB says, I knew if Brian was involved, it was a cleanup crew. Truth Seeker says, like he said from the beginning, exoneration. Ooh, exoneration. What's the percentage of money? Hello, Shalom. What's the percentage of money Greek Road brings into a college? That should answer a lot of questions. Exactly. Follow the money. Follow the money. Hello, Ray, Annette. It's just really weird. There have been so many interesting documents I dropped, and there are so many pages, so I'm going to do my best to revise them, but it's like colossal amount of documents, so we'll see. Let me know if you think that there is something strange here regarding Jack Rodgers Showalter and red fluid being found at his apartment. Do you think that that is weird? Do you think that that makes him look a little bit more suspicious? If you think that it does, please leave a 1. If you think that, oh, it's just red fluid, I don't know, maybe Jack Showalter started his period or something, leave it 2. You can leave it 2, but I'm gonna be judging you internally for sure. For sure. So thank you guys for joining me. Leave a like, leave a comment in the chat, leave a comment in the comment section. Don't be a hater, hit the like. Thank you guys. You guys take care. And hopefully all this crap in the documents starts coming out, because we know that this case doesn't make sense. We know this was botched from day 1. So we'll see you guys. Take care.